Ken is judging me so hard right now, for the record. Hey guys, this is Austin, and you are probably paying too much for your phone. So when my friends over at MetroPCS reached out and wanted to sponsor a video, the first thing I thought of were cheap smartphones. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know I love these things. It's such a powerful thing to be able to get a smartphone for 1/10 the price of a full flagship, and it's almost as good. So I paid over $800 for my iPhone 7 Plus. Now don't get me wrong, this is a great phone. However, when you consider that the Galaxy On5 only costs $60, it is really hard to justify that price premium. So, let's see what you actually get in the box of a $60 phone. I need a knife. Oh, that was weak. That was weak. Starts down low, right? Just like, don't judge me. Something else that you don't find on a lot of phones these days is a removable back. So not only can you get at the micro SD as well as the SIM slot, but if you want to swap out a battery, it's super easy to do. And we also have the SIM card. So that's actually one of the nice things about MetroPCS. Not only are there no contracts, but for $30 a month, you're getting unlimited talk, text, and 1 GB of uncapped data. And the cool thing is, you get that regardless of what smartphone you're using, whether it's the On5 or the iPhone 7. I like the feel of this. It's a nice light phone, but more importantly, it's the right size. I feel like so many smartphones these days are just too big. This actually feels good in the hands. And if you want to raise your budget to a whopping $80, you can pick up the LG K10 or the HTC Desire 530. So one of the advantages of the K10 is it's rocking a slightly larger 5.3-inch 720p display. And just like the Samsung, we can take off the back of the K10 to get access to the battery, micro SD, SIM, the whole deal. I've got to say, the look of the K10 is interesting. So it's got this sort of textured finish on the back. I can't say I've ever seen a phone that looks like it. Now we have the Desire 530. So this is actually a phone I'm really curious to try. I have not actually, oh, this is such a cool looking phone. So you've got the sort of colorful buttons on the side, and you have, it's a white back, but it has this sort of speckled finish. It looks like someone just like spilled a little bit of paint on it. That's fun, that's just a really cool, unique look. You also have the blue bezels here with the front firing speaker. I'm way more impressed with this than I thought I was. Especially considering it's $80, like, man. It comes with a lanyard? Drop everything, stop the video, stop the music, it's lanyard time. So I hereby nominate this, the coolest phone of 2016. Drop the phone, no I didn't. Drop the phone, no I didn't. Okay, I could get a little less clumsy, but no big deal. To be fair, it just has the little loop on the bottom, so you can take the lanyard off if you don't want it. But I mean, this is kind of the package right here. So with all three of these phones, you're getting very similar specs. So they're quad-core processors across the board, 1.5 GB of RAM. The biggest difference really is the fact that the LG and the HTC have 16 GB of memory and the Samsung has 8. However, since all three have a micro SD card slot, it's really not that big of a deal. All three phones have surprisingly decent screens. However, one thing I did notice with the Desire is it seems like it's a little bit over sharpened. So especially when you look at black text on a white background, it just looks like it's got a little bit of a halo around it. Not a deal breaker, but it's definitely noticeable compared to the other two. The Desire does do a good job with video though. So even though it looks like it has dual front firing speakers, only this one is an actual speaker. However, because it's pointing at you, it actually sounds a lot better than most other phones. So even though the K10 feels a little bit plasticky, as you might be able to tell, it has the fundamentals down. The screen is great, performance is solid, especially with the fairly light LG UI, and the cool thing is it has some extra features such as having NFC support. Of course, being smartphones, the cameras are incredibly important, so we'll see how they match up. So this is about as good as light is gonna get, and at least the HTC handles it well. There's a surprising amount of detail even all the way over on the mountains. So with 8 megapixels to work with, it actually does a solid job, as long as you have light. Of course, I have to make sure I have the lanyard on at all times, because safety. Not bad, it's a little soft, but that's totally usable. So the K10 actually looks really nice. So even though this is a very brightly lit shot, it completely holds the detail no problem. Ken, looking A1. Quality on the LG looks to be fairly similar. We're getting a little bit of softness, but it handles it well. You know, something I realized the more I spend time with the LG, it's snappier than the other two. Everything just seems to happen really quickly. The other two, they're not slow, but you can definitely notice a little bit of lag sometimes. Now with the Samsung, we're actually working with a lower resolution 5 megapixel camera. And if this is anything to go by, it's not quite as nice. Definitely not as fast to take a shot. With good lighting, you can get decent results. However, especially when you look at the details, it just can't compare to the other two. Now you can get an okay shot with the On5, however in this comparison, it's just outgunned. There are legit reasons to pick up any of these phones. The Samsung is the cheapest. The LG, while it's a little bit on the boring side, absolutely nails the fundamentals. However, if it's my money, I'm picking up the HTC. You're getting a phone with unique design, solid performance, a good camera, and most importantly, it's $80. It's hard to argue with that. You know what's even harder to argue with? Free phones. So if you switch to MetroPCS, you can actually get 2 free Samsung Galaxy On5 smartphones running on the T-Mobile network. So which phone would you guys go for? Definitely be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next one.